It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Wednesday show, May 28th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the over 82,000 subscribers on this platform, good afternoon to you. If you're watching on X, hey, how you doing over there? Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Look what the cat dragged.
Oh, you never know.
Who is this guy?
Part-time.
I ain't know. Let me introduce myself.
Oh, come on, Braylon. How you doing, buddy?
Y'all silly.
What's going on, everybody out there? No, man, I had to give my boys some guff. Y'all know I love Ryan, man. Listen, it's good to see you back. Hello to everybody else in the studio, including my cousin Ryan. But Ryan, where have you been? What's going on? Catch us up.
Living a dream, buddy. Living a dream. Hey, last night I had the opportunity to hang out with a friend of the show, Ven Johnson.
Hey.
Nice.
He's going to be on with us
Attorney
next
at
week.
law.
Ven is a fighter.
Okay.
And it was so cool just to hang out with him and just talk sports, talk about everything. We talked about everything. And he loves Woodward Sports. He's a friend of the show, and he's going to be on with us, partnering with Woodward Sports. We've entered into a partnership with him, and I think it's going to be really great. He'll be a fascinating ad here because he's got so much to offer and so much wisdom. So he's going to join us next week, and we'll go from there. But pretty cool to hang out with him at his house in that setting. Pretty good stuff.
All right.
Super
How
excited.
you doing, Tom Mazaway?
Hey, who is that?
I'm trying to tell you, man. I don't
that?
know who that is over there. I was confused for a minute.
I was here in the building yesterday.
I did. I saw you get a haircut with Beth. That was nice.
Sneaky SOB.
That was nice.
You know how bad I wanted the off day for my off day?
I was
You deserve
here.
it, though, right? You deserve it.
Yeah, no, feeling good though, gentlemen. Feeling good. How you doing, Maz? You still getting a massage over there?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm just chilling. It's a pretty overcast day.
Yeah.
I got a good friend of mine. Ken is over at the house helping us out in the backyard, making the house look nice, getting the mulch down, all of that kind of stuff. So I went out in a short sleeve shirt, and like 10 minutes later, I went back outside. I'm like, hell, man, I had to go in and put a pullover on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not short sleeve shirt day out there again. Another day without shirt sleeves, baby. And it's the end of May, man. It's going to be June in a couple
Dude,
days.
it's going to be 90 next week.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Right.
You know Michigan does that. That's why every time we start to complain with Michigan was like, all right, look, you know who I am. You
Right.
know what I do. You know what we do every year. So 90 next week, perfect time next week, because Chicago Cubs are in town next weekend. That's the weekend, Mass, for the Cubs. That's the weekend. It's 90. All will be well.
Yeah, that's the weekend I can't go see the Tigers because I'm throwing a graduation party.
Graduation party.
Yeah. I got my invite.
Yeah.
Now, graduation party, Tigers, Cubs.
Well,
Graduation.
I would go to the Tigers Cubs. My wife would divorce me. But I'd prefer to go to the Tigers Cubs. Believe me.
Now, are you into mingling? Like, are you, when you,
Yeah.
because this is one of those situations, when you host
Yeah.
a grad party, it's
Yeah.
kind of like hosting a wedding almost.
No doubt.
Yeah.
In that everybody is at that place, at your house, for you.
Yeah.
Everybody
mingle.
wants to see you.
I mingle, but come about 5:30, I will be going inside
Yes.
and putting on the Belmont stage.
Yes.
When is the off button? 6 o'clock? Is that the off button?
What do you mean?
Like when you turn your brain off that you're not going to be doing any mingling anymore.
Yeah, I'd say 6 o'clock. It starts to maybe thin out a little bit. Then the friends start coming. The kids' friends start coming. Then I'm in cruise control.
So there's two different levels of party.
Yes.
There's
Always.
Yeah.
day party. Ricky
Yeah.
knows about this.
Yeah.
There's day party where it's family and
Yeah.
where the kids are included.
Yeah.
And then there's nighttime party.
the
When
adults.
nightfall comes.
Yeah.
And
That's when you put the women and children to bed and go look at the dinner. Shout out to the program.
I don't know nothing
Hey.
about that.
The worst part of my weekend next weekend is not only do we have to throw this big party, but the following day I got to move my oldest kid, Lily, who's just coming home from Europe tomorrow I got to move her to Nashville.
Nah, that's
Man,
living
let
a
me ask you
life.
this question. I usually do a good job of checking up on you. So here's my checkup. How are you doing, big guy? I know your daughters are leaving.
I'm over
the
my
nest.
head.
I know your one daughter's leaving college, which
Yeah.
means you really don't have a fix on what she's gonna be doing. How are you doing, bro?
I'm over my head. I'm over my skis, as they say.
Yeah.
Kathy and I are, it's been the craziest month that I could ever remember. And not only that, I sit down the other day to watch Tarek Skubal. No, it was the day after Skubal.
Flaherty?
Flaherty. I'm watching. It's the 7th inning on my brand new 75-inch television.
They know by now, right?
It blew out.
No, dude, no, not the 75.
Man, my
75-inch
first question:
TV.
Where'd you get this TV from?
Costco.
Yeah.
But it's a Samsung. It's a
Okay.
top of the line.
That's exactly what I have.
Samsung.
Exactly.
Same.
75 inch.
Outside of Costco or
55.
inside Costco?
Inside.
Okay.
Inside.
Making sure.
75 inch Samsung from Costco. That's
It stops.
exactly what I have.
So I'm like, what the hell happened?
You ain't the only
So
one.
I get up, I do all the little things that you're supposed to do, unplug, do this, push this,
Blow on it.
nothing. Nothing. So I go to the back room, flick that TV on, and finish the game. So all the rest of the night, all I could think of is, how do I get this TV to work again? I call my brother-in-law over, we take it down off the wall, it's heavy TV. Nothing, we can't figure it out. What do? I took it back today. It's a lemon.
That's
Yeah.
the
It's
worst.
a freaking lemon.
Now, will they come
Lemons suck, bro.
hook it back up?
Yeah.
They
Will they
will
come
They will
attach it?
if you pay them. They'll
Really?
hook it up. Yeah.
Even if you have a lemon. So
Yeah.
did you hook it up yourself?
Yeah, my brother-in-law and I
Oh,
hooked it
that's
up.
right.
So they check to make sure you didn't bust the screen.
Right.
First thing they do is they plug it in to make sure you didn't punch the screen or anything. And it was perfect. And they realized it's just shining, like you could see that blue light,
Yeah.
but nothing else. It was just a lemon. So now I'm shopping again for another television.
Oh,
and I'm hesitant to buy that same set again.
Right.
I know.
Even though it's the best value for the dollar is that television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lemons absolutely suck. Remember I had a lemon, brand new what? Brand
Laptop.
new. No, I broke that. That was
Oh,
on me.
sorry.
That was on me. I put that was on top of my car as I drove off. So,
Oh, God.
dude.
secrets out. Laptop was my fault. My truck,
Oh, I had
That's
a lemon.
right.
my truck,
What a lemon.
brand new truck. How many times I had to take that truck
ton.
back? Man, the Sierra Denali.
The
hatchback.
diesel.
Oh,
The diesel.
yeah.
That thing was a lemon.
Brand new, lemon
Yeah.
from the start.
Do you remember the first day you got it? We were at, what was the place
Oh,
that,
we were
on
at
8
the
Mile?
we were at the school.
Yeah, what was our school's
Academy.
name? The Academy.
Oh my gosh, the Warren Academy,
Warren
right?
Academy.
Yeah.
Warren
That was the
Academy.
first day you rolled up in it.
I
We
was-
were
I
like,
was
oh,
excited.
look at you.
And you know, it was when you go from not having a car for a while, whatever the circumstances are, and when you get a car, you have to sit back, had that appreciation moment.
Yeah.
That appreciation moment is still lasting to this day. By the way.
Wow.
So my outdoor TV, do you remember
Yeah, I have
a
an
couple of
outdoor.
weeks ago?
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago,
Humble brag.
well, let me tell you. Let me tell you this. I will brag about this because we bought our house 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
There was a space on the garage on the back where I said my dream is to have and build out a back patio and put a TV on that wall.
Nice.
There you go.
9 years after I bought that house, we
There
put
you
that
go.
TV
Okay.
on that garage. So
Nice. I like that. That's
so
good.
that TV is like my baby.
Yeah.
That outdoor space
Yep.
is my haven. Covered it up for the winter, did all that.
Yeah.
I'm uncovering the patio, getting it ready for
Oh,
the
no.
spring.
No.
Everything looks great. I turn the TV on, and there is a line through the middle with what looks like almost like a BB gun or on a windshield when you're driving
Oh,
and
like
a
a chip.
rock spits.
Right.
It kind of spidered. If you look at the TV, the actual TV,
Yeah.
Screen itself.
The
there is
screen.
not one scratch on the outside of the
Interesting.
television. Not one scratch. So I'm like, what in the world is this? So I called up, not under warranty,
Oh.
and then sent it to Samsung. And by the way, to get a customer service representative
Oh,
God,
is
no.
In any position.
it's like a
any
root
place.
canal.
Yeah.
You might as well have a root canal.
Right.
It's like pulling teeth.
I'd rather just lose the money and go get a new one.
Absolutely.
That's the point. That's why they
Yeah.
make it hard.
So they said text you know, they get this number. They text me a picture of the TV. Well, I text them a picture of the TV. They said it's not internal. That is outside damage. I said outside damage. There was nothing on there's not a scratch on this TV. They said that spider point is an impact mark.
Yeah.
That something impacted the TV there.
A piece of hail?
So I'm racked. Look, this was a very expensive mistake for me. A very expensive mistake, but I'm racking my brain. What could possibly hit it? Because even a rock from
Would show from the outside.
even a rock from the lawnmower could not get to where the TV is. So I'm thinking. When I
it the
blow
extreme
the
weather?
snow with my gas blower,
Oh no.
I was blowing the snow with my gas blower.
As
And I remember turning around and the backpack
There it
hit
is.
the TV.
Oh.
And I'm thinking to myself,
Wow.
I remember looking at it and there was no scratch,
Yeah.
no nothing.
But it was off.
But yeah, it was off.
Yeah.
But like I thought maybe some sort of I
Yeah.
hope I didn't like break the screen.
Got you.
Nothing. And then
You
it
better
was,
man than me. That moment
Yeah.
never happened in my
Oh.
eyes. It's
Yeah, I
still
would've blamed it on the
screen.
kids.
I'm just the screen. The TV.
God, I mean it was miserable.
Oh,
but
that's it.
yeah, that's it.
That'll wrap that up.
That's a wrap.
Buy another one?
I'm in the process of doing that, trying to work.
Well, I
on
know
that.
how to hang TVs as y'all need help.
Yeah, there's your guy.
There you go.
Ricky, how about water heaters? You know how to do water
Did
heaters?
you see how
No,
long
actually-
Tom just looked at you?
Right.
Right.
Not-
Look
not-
at his face.
No, I can't do water heaters.
He's still looking by me.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable, man. But hey, if anyone in the chat has any ideas about the best 75-inch TV I could buy for under $1,000,
No, you got to do the Samsung 75
It's
inch.
gotta
It's the
be.
best bang for your buck because again,
they tell me LG's good, but they tell me I read about it. It's better for gaming.
right.
And the Samsung is better in like more
Yeah,
lit
a lot.
rooms. And my room is a little bit too bright because I got a lot of windows.
The questions will be versed over there. He knows all about gaming.
Yeah.
But again-
I don't play games. That's
Look,
the thing.
okay, it's a TV for less than $1,000. If it goes bad in 2, 3, 5 years,
Yeah.
just get another one for less than $1,000.
Yeah.
Not going to spend $3,500 on a TV because it's great. And then
So you
you
got to
re-
get the 120 hertz, the
Then you're-
120, not the 60.
then you really be.
You got to
pissed if
get the
you break
120
something.
But
because
let me
the
ask you-
60 doesn't give you a clearer picture.
Let me ask you this though, Ryan. If you're living in a space and you're not planning on leaving, Tom ain't ever leaving that house. Okay, let's call it spade a spade. He will be in this house for the rest of his and his daughter.
Pretty much.
And everybody else. It's family home. That's where he'll be. Why not just spend the $3,500 and not look for a TV for 10 to 12 years?
In case one of them party goers at his house on graduation day
Right.
run into the
Yeah.
TV and knock it down.
Now, Bray, I had
Then why? Okay, here you go. Why don't you rent one until the party's over,
There you go.
and then you buy the
Now we're
$3,500?
talking.
I have a 55-inch TV that had nothing wrong with it. It was a Samsung.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That's a
12,
sign.
14
That's a sign.
years.
That's a
14
sign.
years old.
There was nothing
Guess
wrong
what?
with it.
That's the one I'm
Right.
watching again right
Yeah,
now.
that's
I
a
brought
sign.
it-
That's God,
I
bro.
brought it
There's
back
nothing
up.
wrong with
Tom,
it.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with
Hey,
it.
Maz, aren't you excited to be an empty nester though? Aren't you about to be
Yeah,
empty nester?
I'm about to be an empty nest.
There you go. That's
There you
something.
go,
You guys
buddy.
gonna be walking around in the,
In the
Right.
buff.
But
Right.
There you go. In the brush.
In the
Everything's-
brush. In the brush.
I doubt that.
Okay.
I ain't Tarzan and she ain't Jane.
Oh God, Jason Kenyon, $5 super chat. Maz, I did appliance and TV repair on warranty. Samsung is my favorite, easiest to fix. However, not the worst brand to buy. Love my Samsung products.
Oh,
You take
There
some
you
of
go.
those adult gummies, man. You know,
Right.
you might
Yeah.
find
Right.
the brush.
Right,
Yet again.
no doubt. Guys, Tigers in action today, right now. In
They're
fact,
down
if you're
3-0.
watching live, they're down 3-0. I want to take more of a big picture look at this ball club right now. By the way, we do have Tigers superfan Josh Teebs. That's Maz's
my man.
buddy. Maz's buddy. That he's going to be on with us coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, which is hour number 2 in the program. So we'll talk to Josh about the Tigers. But big picture look at this group. 100 games have been played dating back to last year. Tigers PR put this out. Over our last 100 games dating back to August 11, 2024, we've posted a 67-33 record. We have the best record in baseball over that stretch. 3 games better than the Dodgers, 7 games better than the New York Yankees, which is the next best AL team. That's an incredible record, guys.
That's
and I just
crazy.
think you take a minute and you really appreciate, a lot of people are like, who are the Detroit Tigers? What are they? Is this a hot streak? This is who they are. Now, I think 100 games, I think 50 games, I think it's more than an aberration. It's more of who they are. This sample size is a large one. it's nearly a full season now, almost a full season, and I couldn't be more excited about this baseball team.
Listen, think of this: 67 and 33 to 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that's this season.
Yeah.
So you got 62 games left. If you split them, 31 on that 67, you got 98 wins.
Yeah,
if you
that's
split
crazy.
Right.
the rest of the season, it ain't gonna split the rest of the season. They are on a major pace. This team.
You make an interesting point, Tom. Go ahead, Braylon.
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
I was just gonna say you make an interesting point. With where they are right now at 36 and 20.
Yeah.
Is 100 wins out of the picture?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Is 100 wins for this baseball team out of the question?
No.
The answer is no.
No.
And 100 and how many games left? 106 games left. They're gonna win 60 of them.
Yeah.
That's 96 wins.
Fabulous.
That's wild.
For everybody that doesn't want to pay attention to what we talk about before the season, talking about AJ Hinch being one of the best skippers, if not the best skipper in the majors right now, or you don't want to pay attention, now we have the best bullpen. I didn't stutter. The best bullpen right now for the ones that are still looking to, well, last year was a fluke. Well, I don't know how you would call it that, but fine. You want to go that route? Let me give you the stats.
Let me give you the
Let me give you the stats and make it easy. Batting average, they're 10th in the MLB. Home runs, they are 9th in the MLB. I don't even have to read you the numbers. Just listen to where they rank. They're 4th in runs scored. They're 4th in runs batted in. They are 30th in stolen bases. Got to work on that. 9th in on-base percentage. 7th in slugging percentage. 6th in hits. They are 3rd in pitching in terms of ERA. Wins, you know the answer to that. Losses, you also know the answer to that. Strikeouts, they are 6th. Shutouts, they are 2nd. Saves, 7th. The list goes on and on and on. 7th is the average number that you heard in that equation. And a lot of ones in there, too. This team is good. The stats prove it. The record proves it. And so does the play on the field. It all backs it up. The Tigers are the best team in the MLB. Regardless of what you want to say they don't have, what they do have is the best record.
And with that, that Dodgers comparison is an interesting one. Dodgers are obviously the defending World Series champion. They swept the Tigers in the opening series. Many people believe that the Dodgers are just going to repeat, although I do believe Philadelphia is going to have something to say about it, and the New York Mets are going to have something to say about it, I think. That National League is filled with really good baseball teams.
Yes.
But because the Tigers are seemingly, and look, what they are and what they're perceived to be are two different things. What's true and what's perceived to be true is not always the same thing.
Yes.
And I think, for the most part, Tigers fans, okay, just look locally here. Forget about the national stuff. Locally here, I think Tigers fans perceive this organization to be a bunch of cheapskates. First and foremost, do you agree or disagree with that sentiment?
Agree.
Sort of.
Yes, Tigers fans.
Yeah. Tigers fans
Detroit's,
believe
the city of Detroit.
Tigers fans in Detroit believe this organization is cheap. So you look at the Dodgers, over 100 games. The Tigers are 3 games better than them. And they're doing it this quote-unquote cheap way. The
Dodgers have spent over $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Think about that. Now, much of that money is deferred,
It's $1
but
billion.
nonetheless,
It's more than $1 billion.
It's $1.4 billion, I believe.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
more.
And that's the other thing. You guys got to get that out of your head too. Talking about the Tiger fans that feel that way. That's not the case. The guy that just got hurt, that everybody wanted.
Right.
Alex Bregman. Everybody wanted. The Tigers. Maz, you're a sicko. Maz, you're absolutely
Sicko.
But the guy that they wanted the most, they offered him the most money. They offered him the most money.
Right.
He's not cheap. Chris Hill is just showing you. You know what? We're figuring things out. You know why he trusts Scott Harris. Scott Harris told him this would be the move. So he tried to procure the move. It didn't work. But Scott Harris, you got to give him a lot of kudos to what he's been doing. Running this thing back this year and not breaking it up and adding a bunch of multitude of high millionaire moves. He didn't do that. He kept his players. And I think we have to give him more and more credit as you kind of watch this thing unfold. Gleyber Torres, who knew Gleyber was going to play like this?
Best second baseman in the American League.
100%.
On the OPS.
Easy.
Tigers are 3rd in run differential. 3rd behind the Yankees and the Cubs, who are really, both of them are hitting the cover off the ball, but neither of them really have a pitching staff like the Tigers. The Tigers are plus 83 on the run diff. The Yankees are plus 118. Cubbies are plus 194. Plus 94, excuse me. So third in the majors. Way more than the Dodgers run differential, by the way. They could hit, and they don't have a superstar on this team besides Tarek Skubal. There's no other superstar on this team. By the way, Shohei Ohtani about ready to pitch again. So you could even go into that. Dodgers get a boost. It's almost like signing another free agent. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But these guys ain't afraid of anybody, and they should have beaten the Dodgers.
Sometimes it's not about tons of superstars. I'm starting to realize that. Sometimes it's just about having that depth. With the Tigers having spades, man, the best minor league system in baseball, they have the depth. They have some young guys. They got the star that matters, and that's Tarek Skubal for them. You look at the comparison to basketball, Pacers don't have a bunch of superstars. They got one. They got one superstar who we'll talk about, and they got a bunch of guys, a bunch of depth, and everybody in that space, they're playing their role to perfection. They're playing how they're supposed to be playing, and that's how the Tigers are. You got one superstar, but everybody else is doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. And like Anson said, just a little bit more to that point.
I was going to make this point, but Crazy Clown made the exact same point in the chat, so I'm going to give him the credit for it. Crazy Clown says, I don't blame them. Why spend more than what you have to win? And he's right. If you could win like this, why would you? It's like pick the house that you live in. Mm-hmm. Would you spend any more than you have to live in the same exact house?
No.
If you're at the top of the major leagues and you can be at the top of the major leagues for this, why would you pay this?
Because I think we're waiting to see it win. I think you keep bringing up this exact example, you and Tom Mazaway, about the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Every year, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in the past 6 with the exception of the last 2 years, what were they? Oh, they were winning their division, or they're right there. They're in the thick of things. You know they're going to be in the playoffs. They wouldn't get the superstar. They wouldn't pay the superstar, and what happened? They would fizzle out. Even in the World Series, I believe, Maz, they lost. That's why. I think a couple of times. I think until somebody sees it work, then you can say that's the point.
Well, it's Moneyball, right?
The Rangers,
Moneyball.
Oh, the teams that have won recently, they had to spend the cheese. Who won last year? We know cheese. They spent. Even the Rangers, they spent money. They spent a ton of money. The Braves, when they had to redo the outfield because everybody got hurt, they spent money. So if the Tigers can win this year, win this way, then everybody can shut up and say, you know what, you don't have to. But until it happens, then this is about, as far as it goes, is the playoffs.
I will tell you this, though. They need a third baseman that they could depend on. Right now, they're doing it with spit and shoe polish. If they can actually go out and get a true blue third baseman that can hit 25 homers, and well, I'm basically talking about Nolan Arenado, who doesn't hit that well anymore, but he still fields like a fiend. So they need a third baseman. Torque is at first, and we'll have Josh Teves, my good buddy, on a little bit later, and he's the biggest Torque fan there is. There's a lot of people that don't believe in him still. Even though him and Riley Green, both over 800 ops this year. Not many American League teams have two players in their starting lineup with over 800 OPS. Man? Pardon?
What is it that they do not believe by this point for Torque?
They don't believe that he's going to be able to hit for the long term, Bray. He goes into these deep slumps, and it looks like he's in another one now. Sure, he'll hit an occasional home run. In the beginning of the year, he won a couple games for us. Right. But his home runs are almost hollow. They're coming in losses. They're coming when they're solo shots. And that's not his fault that they're solo shots.
Yeah.
But I like the guy, and I hope he can hit 250, 30 homers, and 90 RBI. If I can get that out of him, that's great. But that's really not the number one draft pick that year, what he should give you. They should give you 40 and 120.
Like Casey Mize, right?
Casey Mize now is showing that he had that number one stuff. And he was injured all the time. Riley Green can't stay healthy. This team needs one more solid infielder, and it's got to be at third base.
There's only one problem, Tom. It's your home team. The Yankees are now also, they have been rotating at third base for the last month, and they are now going to compete with the Tigers for that bat of which you were talking about. Right. And they have the money and the past reputation to outbid the Tigers for said player that you were referring to.
Now, everyone wants Rafael Devers from Boston.
And they're
not going to get him.
Yeah.
You're not going to get him. You're not going to give up the farm to get chubby Rafael Devers. He can hit, but he's not a good fielder. He's not. And nothing wrong with the chubby guys. I love the chubby guys. That's fine. Oh, don't quote that, please.
Pause.
Why do I say these things? Why do these things come out of my mouth? Oh, there's another one.
Worse.
Anyway, they're not getting Rafael Devers.
You know, to Pete's point, though, it doesn't matter who's got what kind of money at a trade deadline. Do you have the prospects? Do you have the goods to send the other way that, you know, a team like St. Louis or somebody would be interested in? To Braylon's point about Moneyball, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you. We've never seen a Moneyball team win the World Series. Yeah. We've seen them get very close, but they have not won it.
There.
But I don't consider this version of the Tigers a Moneyball situation. I mean, they are right smack dab in the middle of payroll in Major League Baseball. Maybe Javi Baez is a big part of that, but they're right in the middle of it.
He is a huge part of it.
He is.
They don't pay anyone else.
And maybe not, but you know, if you just look at the sheer number of it, the payroll, they're kind of right in the middle of baseball. And the teams at the bottom, the Miami, Oakland, the Chicago White Sox, 3 of the worst teams in baseball, or among the worst teams in baseball.
They are.
The worst 7 teams when it comes to payroll. You know, 6 of the 7 are under 500. So money does play a big role in baseball, and the Tigers have spent a little bit of it. Javi Baez has been a savior. He's been an absolute savior to this season so far.
It just feels like a Moneyball situation.
It absolutely does.
Because you got a guy,
doubt.
Javi Baez, who's playing center field. When you bought him in here 4 years ago, center field never came up. Right. Now you got him playing center field. You wanted him gone at the beginning of this season, maybe even during the season, but now here he is still batting. A lot of your players are still figuring it out. A lot of young players in this team. So the money is in the middle, but kind of how we got here. The bullpen game, shoot, we invented the bullpen game over the last year or so.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
No such
There
thing.
are no.
It's just the. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it on your show.
Braylon's show.
Oh my God!
All right, you guys are off the rails today.
Can Javier Baez play third?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He don't want to. He wants to be center field.
I know. What do you do with Parker Meadows?
He's like a childhood dream.
What are you
of
going to
his.
do?
I don't know. Maybe Parker Meadows could play right field.
Okay, where's Kerry Carpenter?
DH.
I have a conversation with Javi and Kerry.
Where's
like,
Colt Keith?
just rotate.
Off.
Gone.
Gone.
He comes in when
Toledo.
we need him.
He's our second highest paid Tiger.
They paid him before the year started.
I know.
Oh man.
By the way, Matt Vierling got re-injured his
Right.
shoulder again,
I
so
was
you're not going
there.
to depend on him this year.
That's
I
why.
looked up and I was like, this is funny. Javi's in. Vierling's in for Javi. We were just talking about Vierling and what he was going to play when he came back.
Yeah.
And Javi gets tossed. Oh, I didn't get to tell you that story, Ryan. I'll make it quick. Javi got tossed right when I was there. I go to the game. You know who I wanted to see? Javier Baez.
Javier Baez.
Literally get up, go to the Tiger Club.
He was
right
in the home
before
run. He was in the
up.
home
No
plate
kidding.
club.
I saw that
Yeah.
video.
You know,
Who were you sitting there with? How'd you get them tickets?
I gotta know some people that know some people. You know what I'm saying?
And how were they? Were they comfortable?
They were very comfortable. The thing that caught me off guard is the seat cooler.
Air conditioned.
That's air conditioned seat as well as heating seats. So it's a little hot out there. Turned it on. It was a little cool. I said, it's not too bad.
I got to get a break. I got to talk about this home plate club for a
not
minute.
too
I
bad.
We'll come back with the video for you.
We got it.
Got a preview of what it's going to look like after the All-Star break. Oh, my God.
I love it. But first, a message from Buddy's Pizza. Buddy's Pizza, the original Detroit-style pizza. We've got a deal for you. You could save 10% on your entire order. All you have to do is use the promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Nothing says Detroit pizza like Buddy's. The original at 6 Mile and Conant. You can absolutely go stop in and get a Buddy's pizza there. And the antipasto salad, second to none. The vinegar and oil dressing, you will never have salad dressing like this in your life. Buddy's Pizza, baby. Buddy'sPizza.com. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Hey guys, looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Well, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. That's right. It's right up the street from us. Long Lake and Woodward, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He is the wellness doc, and you can check him out on YouTube. He has got the top-rated YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit right now, massagechairhouse.com, or scan that QR code right above my head. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
And as we were just talking about Colt Keith, Tom Mazaway.
2-run double, well, single with an error. So 2 runs came in. They're down 3-2, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jackson Jobe went 4 2/3. He really only gave up 1 bad pitch the whole time. But when he comes out, Ryan, they show him. He looks like he is 18 years old.
He is completely emotionless, too.
He's a kid. No, he looks like a high school pitcher.
Yeah.
He does. This kid's going to be very good. I promise you. He's going to be very good. But the best guy they have, obviously, is the Cy Young winner. It's Tarek Skubal. And I truly believe that they will re-sign him. He wants to be here. He loves Detroit. You saw him on Sunday crying after that game, emotional. After his first complete game, A.J. Hinch gave him the fist bump to go out for the 9th inning instead of the handshake to say, thanks, you did a great job. 94 pitches, 13 strikeouts. Every game it's double-digit strikeouts for this guy. Even if he has an off game, he'll strike out 9 or 10. They're going to sign him. I promise you. All they got to do is show them that they are going to win. This guy is a bulldog. He wants to be on a team that has a chance to win. Alex Bregman, he took the easy way out. Look where he is right now. Anyway, Tarek Skubal will be a Tiger for life.
I'm glad you said that. I got a text from somebody close to somebody close to somebody close. We got to sign Skubal and Green and Torque in this next year coming up. You got to sign all 3 in the next year. The plan is to get Skubal first. The problem, Scott Boras is the best agent in MLB.
He's a shark.
100%. So that would be the problem if there were any terms of delay in terms of the pricing being too much, because he's going to get what his player deserves. If it's not here, it's somewhere else. But this is, to your point, he's got to be a key piece. Like, this has to be somebody you look at. You have to look at what he's done, like the energy that he gives the city. Like, this is transcendent energy. The energy that the city gets from when he's on the
Verlander
mound.
and Scherzer wrapped up in one.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Maz, you said it. Like, this is what you have to have. Like, there are no shortcuts to wanting to be great. And this guy right here, you got to pay him everything. He's old.
Fabulous.
Like,
fabulous.
I got a chance to see him, Ryan, yesterday or Monday. He came out, gave the vet a jersey. It was a vet. They were honoring, stood up, everybody clapped. When he came out of that locker room, he's a dominating presence. Like, that presence, that excitement, 6'3.5", 6'4", like broad. So he looks like a football player.
Yeah.
Looks like a football player that plays linebacker but has long arms to throw that gas. Like, you have to have him. This is an identity piece.
There's no doubt, and it is every time he pitches, it seems to be the storyline. You know, what is
he's the ultimate stopper.
Tarek Skubal going to command on the open market, and he probably will go to free agency, right? I mean, that's.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know. It's definitely up to him and his agent, and really the Detroit Tigers. Depends how fast you want to sign him, how much you think he's worth.
Tigers want to sign him right now.
Well, of course they do, but they don't want to sign him to a $350 million contract. You should sign a short-term contract and get a couple of them into his prime.
Maybe Jack Flaherty will talk him into that.
Absolutely. Justin Henry Malloy with a 2-run single with 2 outs. Tigers lead 4-3 and now over the San Francisco Giants. This team is really incredible, and I'm not going to.
That's a 2-out hit, by the way.
Yeah, it is. That's what I said. A 2-out hit.
I didn't hear you.
Strike.
You know why? Because I was looking at the TV while you were already breaking the news.
One of the things, Braylon, you were just there at the home plate club.
Yeah.
I'm very bothered by it. It bothers me. I'm not going to say today is Wednesday. It's a day game. There's nobody there. Fine. They got to figure something out.
Yeah.
Don't know how much it is.
I don't know what they got to do. I was just in New York over the weekend. Great trip. It was an incredible trip. And I did this NBC studio tour. And an NBC page, they call them, fancy word for intern, gave us the tour. And you go into the Saturday Night Live studio and you go into the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show studio.
Ooh.
It's awesome. But one of the things the page was telling us was about, I think I asked about the 50th anniversary special for Saturday Night Live. He's like, you can even at one point you can see me. I was a seat filler for, I was like, a seat filler. They should have seat fillers at Comerica Park. I'm serious. That park was completely packed this weekend.
Yeah.
And if you are watching on television, it looks like nobody is there.
I agree.
It is a total
I agree.
and complete vibe killer. Looks like your team does not matter. It looks like nobody is in the park. Meanwhile, if you zoom out, if there's a foul ball, there's not a seat in the house.
Fact.
It's totally packed.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of making it appear on television as if your fans love your baseball team, which they do, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you watch on TV, it looks like we don't care about you.
What did Little Caesars Arena do?
They
you
changed
remember?
the seats. They changed the seat
changed-
colors.
They put brand new seats in. It was red.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's take these brand new seats out that no one sat in and turn them into black seats so it doesn't look so bad on television.
Yeah.
But I don't
They're
understand.
just too expensive.
I don't understand why you can't take Tigers employees and especially
fans.
especially
Or
on.
actors.
They're probably not going to do it with fans because you could probably cause some trouble if somebody comes to their seat in the third or fourth inning and then they kick you out.
No, I'm saying say the unsold seat they have like a seat filler, but they bring them people
They're
already
probably
there.
all sold. That's the problem.
They move two people a
gotcha.
game.
Right.
They move two people a game to the better seats.
Yeah.
They take someone from the upper deck and they move them down to the lower deck, but not
Yeah,
behind
see, I
home
was thinking-
plate.
And they
That's what I was
probably are. Maybe they're sold. Maybe they're not. Tigers know that. I do not. But
Yeah.
even if they are sold, even when they open up that bar restaurant inside the tunnel, where fans probably on a hot day are going to be watching the game from the bar area of that tunnel club or whatever they call it, home plate club.
Home plate club.
you should have Tigers employees. There's several hundred of them probably around that building, around the concourse, whether they're sales team members, whether they're marketers, whether they're whoever. Put them in the seats. If the person comes, go back to doing what you're doing. But you should be on standby. It's an unacceptable look as far as I'm concerned. And I'm surprised they haven't done anything about it.
I agree.
That's the job for the Tigers to figure out. As it relates to the home plate club, the cool thing about that is where it is now is obviously, imagine you got to walk, and it's over towards where the porch area is in the corner of the first base line, towards the end of the first line, foul pole.
You're talking about the Tigers Club.
The Tigers Club, right.
Club.
That's
Right now, that's what they're doing because it's not ready yet.
I was just saying, that's all.
No, go ahead.
That's it.
I didn't mean to. No, I didn't mean to.
You good,
No, go ahead, say it.
You good, man. So now you good. So now from if you're at the Tigers Club, you have to walk all the way around down to the elevator, and then you cross, and then go down, and then you can walk down to your seats. It's gonna be so cool now where that home plate is, where I was sitting the other day. There's that, like you were talking about, that tunnel and those steps literally right there. So you'll come up there and be right at your seats. You won't have to come down the bleacher steps like everybody else. You won't have to go into the concourse level. You'll legitimately be right there. You'll come up and surprise everybody.
You know what
happened? For all the
happened?
money they're charging. I mean,
You know what
should
happened?
do that.
It was going to be ready for this season.
It still be ready this season.
But I mean, at the beginning of the year.
Oh, it's going to be
they
after
had
All-Star.
They had a water main break. And it set them back months.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it set them back months.
Cody Ingalls says, I was a seat filler for the NFL draft in Chicago. We would be in the seat until the paid seat owner showed up. Would be a good idea to pull random season ticket holders to be seat fillers.
There you go. Season ticket
You've got to
holders.
do something.
I agree.
Because it looks terrible.
But then once they show up and they want to leave again, then it's like, do you get seat fillers while they leave and then you come back?
Yeah, unless you give them you have the seat fillers and then you have them in the standing room only part. And I don't know. I don't know how you can do it. I'm not that smart. This is just an idea for seat fillers. But I do know this. Watching the game on TV looks terrible.
I agree.
With that backdrop. Cody said that. Michael DeVries, $5. At what point does Scooble's contract become a locker room distraction? I say never.
Me too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Braylon, you would know more than I would about contract disputes and locker
Don't
rooms.
they have him for another year?
It won't be a distraction with him because everybody in that locker room wants him to get everything that he deserves. They want him there. They know the type of player he is. They know the type of energy he brings. They just know the type of person that he is. So it won't be a discussion because it's not some guy, I deserve this, I deserve that. It's just us talking about what he wants. Scoob's out there just balling. I don't think it's affected him at all. If the conversation affects the player, then it affects the rest of the locker room. But if you can tap in like he is, throw all this heat, all these Ks, it's not a distraction for the locker room.
Right, when Yankee Stadium opened, the new one,
I remember.
they had those seats.
I
and
remember.
for years, they were empty. They were just literally for company execs that didn't show up, and it looked terrible. The rest of the park is packed, and they guard that like Fort Knox. A guy like me can't even get in. A guy like me who can sneak in anywhere couldn't even sneak into those seats. But I'll tell you this, I was disappointed with the Tigers home plate club because I thought they were going to do it like they did at Cleveland.
What did they do at
Cleveland's home plate
like
club?
underneath.
It's a dugout.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
You're in.
Kind of like Anaheim.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're in the stadium, but you could see. It's like they're throwing to you almost.
Right.
And Cleveland
Where
has
Scott
that.
Boras always sits in the Angels games.
Yes.
It's
it-
in the field, though.
Yes, it's in the. You're part of the dugout.
Is
almost.
it like MetLife? Like, you know how MetLife down on
Yes,
you know
exactly.
that on the,
That's
on the
called
sidelines,
Yes.
how we walk off the field.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I thought they were going to
That's
do.
exactly what I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be, too, to be honest with you.
So
Well,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise,
Eventually they'll sell. They're going to lower the price a little bit, probably not. But it'll sell. It'll sell.
I don't want to
It'll
crack
sell because of how great the team is.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you look moving forward, I mean, are they going to be the best team in baseball, every year for the next however long?
I don't know. I think
Yes,
they, I
Ryan,
think they could.
yes.
Look,
They're on the way.
No. I want them to do things now for the future later. Look, if they're expensive now, they come down, fine. Just build that now. Build it out for everybody so we won't have to complain when it is consistent. Like, I wish they would do something. I wish they would do something to implement how good we are. No. Build it now. Build it now. Michigan, I used to beg them, do something with Schembechler Hall. Do something with the football field. Do something with the locker room. All this money Michigan brings in, and we don't get any of it. Insert what was Dave Brandon? He was like, no, we're gonna get these football players all that. But now you see what the aesthetic looks like. It looks like it deserves. Do it now.
But do you know there's no, if someone hasn't been to the big house in a while, there are no advertisers in the big house. And they have the worst Wi-Fi in the history of stadium Wi-Fi. It doesn't exist.
Man.
And I'll never understand this. We always talk about this with Drew, the Drew Lane Show. And Drew's a season ticket holder, so's Mark Fellhauer, all those guys. You can't, unless you're sitting in the club seats of Michigan Stadium, you cannot make a phone call. You cannot send a text. It's impossible. And then Ford Field years ago was like this. And I remember bitching about it when we were on 105.1. And eventually they changed the whole damn thing, and now it's a fantastic venue.
Ricky's still on 105.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah, Ricky. Thanks for taking our job.
I'll be on in 15 minutes.
Thanks for taking our job.
Make sure you tune in.
Appreciate it. Anyway, you got to improve the Wi-Fi, Michigan Stadium. And Comerica's terrific as well.
Do like a Starlink or something like that?
I don't know.
Couldn't they get like Starlink service? I mean, you stick Starlink in like the remotest of remote areas. It has perfect internet.
Here's my thoughts on that. You're talking about a bowl that was carved into the ground, and then on any given Saturday, not including the 115 that are chilling inside the stadium, you got another 160 outside the stadium.
Yeah.
Ann Arbor has 275,000 people that occupy that tiny space every Saturday. That's why the Wi-Fi is terrible.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
That's like the first world problem.
You said what?
It's worse than that.
But I'm telling you, that's what the problem is.
But they can fix it. Come on, this is 2025.
Maz,
that is the first
when
world.
you're in a bowl, like, look, where my house is subterranean. Yeah. So whenever I'm downstairs in the lower level, my service sucks, man.
It's not a basement, it's a lower level.
Man, that's what.
I'm joking.
I know, because you know not to get me in trouble.
I have a
MP.
basement. You have a lower level.
This is true. MP, shout out to my mom. But just having that bowl being subterranean, the Wi-Fi sucks. We spend money. We have the highest Wi-Fi there is. It just still sucks. It's the same thing with Michigan. They're in a bowl, and you're talking about 275,000 people.
Maz, there's nothing more first world problem than complaining about Wi-Fi.
I know.
Ford Field. Somebody put
Americans.
Anakin put Ford Field is fine now. Ford Field has great Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's great.
But they invested in it.
They did
too. They spent a lot of money in that. They did, absolutely.
They heard the complaints and they took care of it.
Well, especially with NFL, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I like to watch the NFL better at home than in the stadium.
It's a TV game.
The in-stadium experience at Ford Field is elite. It is. It has become among the league best.
What makes it elite?
The lights, the sound, the entertainment.
Yeah.
Like simple stuff. Even like the Lion King, where they hold the baby. Everybody holds their babies up.
Right.
I mean, the entertainment, the ideas that they've created during timeout breaks to fill every timeout with something that is somewhat entertaining and interesting is pretty darn cool.
Little Caesars is fabulous.
I was about to say, I think that's all four of our sports.
It's amazing.
The ice can.
Now, let me ask you this, guys. When did they play music during basketball play?
Always.
No, not always.
Always.
Yeah,
no.
They did in high school.
During what?
High school games.
When the game is actually going on.
It's like a little beat.
They've always done that. They've always done that.
Really?
I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember it as far back as the Going to Work Pistons.
Really?
So that's over
100%.
20 years ago.
I remember the Bulls growing up. They even
They
played
played a lot
organ.
of Jersey and Lil Wayne back then.
I mean, it's
Because
like,
it goes right
crazy.
along times with the defense chants. Like when they do defense, they kind of spin it in right after that or right before that.
No, I think it's great. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, when did we stop hearing the sneakers? Right? Because all you used to hear was the sneakers.
The scratch. And
Yeah,
the
you
my
might
mother
be-
can't watch a game because of the basketball, because of sneakers.
You might be talking about when the Knicks won their last championship.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, they
I
had
was moving
it was all
something like
vinyl
that.
back
There
then.
you
They
go.
couldn't do it. It was all
717.
vinyl.
I had my Clydes on. Suede Clydes.
No idea.
That's so funny. Hey, one other note about the Tigers. Did you guys know that Justin Verlander was here yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did.
talked about it.
He was
talked
at
about it.
B Rose.
Birmingham Rose.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Kate wasn't here though.
Huh? No.
Kate.
No Kate.
No.
No Kate.
I was because I was getting my haircut here at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You were here, huh?
Verlander getting coffee. He's a cool cat, man. He is a cool cat. I know there's a lot of debate whether Skubal or Verlander was a better pitcher.
Yeah, that's the latest.
At this point, that is like an
That's the
argument
latest.
that's being made.
I don't understand that conversation.
I'm with you, Braylon. I think we do it as sports fans.
There's nothing
But
to
why
talk
do we
about.
have to do it?
Why is it nothing to talk about?
Matches.
JV,
I
right?
agree.
Tarek Skubal is amazing, but JV is JV.
Right.
I
Like
agree.
JV's arguably the best pitcher in the last 25 years
Yeah.
in baseball.
I
He was
agree.
must-see TV.
Like I love Tarek Skubal, like, but
He
this
ain't
is-
there yet.
This is year 3 for Tarek
Yeah,
Skubal.
he ain't there
He
yet.
ain't
Like
there
year
yet.
3 for JV, we kind of already knew what time it was. So I say JV for right now. Let's stop having this
Can
conversation.
you imagine we did the all-century team last night, yesterday when you weren't
Quarter
here.
century.
And 5 pitchers. They had the 5 best pitchers. Randy Johnson was in there.
Kershaw,
Scherzer,
Scherzer.
and Verlander.
Scherzer.
Yeah.
2 of the top pitchers in the last 25 years.
And I would even
Yeah,
And they didn't have
call
Biggie.
Call me crazy.
You like Fister?
I don't know. Like David Price was a
That's what
bad.
I said.
Not with us, though.
Not with us.
Not with us.
Not with us.
That's because we
But
didn't have any relievers.
He was pretty bad.
We
They
had
did not
no
have
we
Miguel
had no
Cabrera.
relievers because that's when I moved back from Miami. That was 14, right? It was like
Yeah.
14. I moved back.
That's it. That was the end of them.
That was the freaking Royals. That's when the Royals got hot.
Yep.
100%.
And the Orioles swept the Tigers that year.
Yes.
That ended
Because
them.
we
And
made
David-
it into the play-in game, I think.
Yep. David Price hated being here.
Yeah, he did.
He hated
he did.
being here. And we traded quite a lot of talent to get him.
He had that dog.
Yeah,
He
including
brought
guys
that
that
dog
are
with
still
him.
playing.
Damn shame what they did to that
Damn
dog.
Damn
shame.
shame.
Coming to
Damn
America.
that down.
Oh, good.
Hey, Tigers,
that.
after today, will have tomorrow off. By the way, they're up 4-3 still in the 6th. They'll have tomorrow off. Then they hit the road for
gimme
7
series.
games. Kansas City
No, not
and the White Sox.
that one.
They are kind of pulling away a little bit. You know, the Tigers.
You lose 3 or 4 to your division. That one kind of.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of you go 2 games, 2.5, 3 games, and you get a little like, okay, it kind of felt like the Lions having to win 15 games to win the division. Kind of felt like that in the American League Central, and it still might be like that in the American League Central. You know, last week the Tigers had like a 2-game lead in the division. Now it's 5, 6, 7. Your next 3 can, you know, Twins 5 back. Twins have won 13 games in a row in their first 54 games. They're 5 games back. That's how bad they were.
That's how great the Tigers are.
The Guardians 6 games back. Kansas City 7 games back. So the Tigers are tightening the screws a little bit when it comes to padding a little bit of a lead here in the American League. And now that they will play some of their division foes. You know, you've got the Royals, you've got the White Sox.
They could bottom out the field here this week.
Absolutely. You could.
They go 5-2, 6-1.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
No doubt. So something to look at. You know, you were talking about Verlander and
Skubal.
Kind of reminds me of like going from Favre to Aaron Rodgers.
Good call.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nice call.
Side note, I'm glad you brought that up. I was trying to get to this with Maz, and I just never got there. Watch that Untold about Brett Favre. It is. It gives you perspective.
Is that HBO or is that Prime?
Netflix? You know, everything's on Netflix. The Untold. Untolds are hit or miss. This one is, you know, at your own peril. You figure it out. The conversation you have, I think, because us with the Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, one Super Bowl to one Super Bowl, you ignore all the MVP. I don't think it's close to who's a better quarterback between the two.
Who was it?
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I'm taking Brett Favre every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Who's a better quarterback? 100%. You watch this, and then you watch Aaron Rodgers in these last 6-7 years, just the whole thing. I take Brett. I know Brett came with a lot of BS, but I know what I got from Brett in between them hashes. I take Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers might be a little bit over.
Can we talk about Aaron Rodgers next? He's
Brett been the 2 though.
He's getting a lot of the, you know, NFL OTAs are underway.
Yeah, right.
And the big storyline, I think, nationally, I'd like to talk about it maybe first, is Aaron Rodgers. He is getting killed for not being in Pittsburgh for OTAs. Terry Bradshaw came out against what's going on in Pittsburgh right now. Want to talk about a little bit about that, and is he kind of like, are you just waiting for Aaron Rodgers to leave? Like a lot of, like Maz, I'll call Maz. Maz is waiting for LeBron James to be done in the NBA. Are you waiting for Aaron Rodgers to be done in the NFL? Just because the drama is, he is too much. And then Danica Patrick, let's talk about it.
Hey, and Stephon Diggs is in the news.
Man, I saw that. Too.
Look out, Stefan. I wouldn't want to mess
Boats
with
and
Another boat.
and some more.
But first, a message from White Claw.
White Claw Tigers Tour. You know what time it is. Last week we kicked it off at McShane's. Now we're at Nemo's June 13th. Come down and hang out. The Tigers we keep talking about them. 36-20, best record in MLB. But you gotta support with us. We do it the best, man. Come on down to Nemo's June 13th. East Town distributors as well as Vin Johnson Law. Thank you. They put this together. They put this together for you. Shout out to Vin. Ryan Ermanni was hanging with him the other day. Second best June 19th, and in the old Miami on June 29th. It's the place to be, man. And do it when the city is about to turn up because the weather's about to get hot. So pull up on us, man. June 13th. See you at Nemo's.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Baligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Hair, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
The Tigers are hot. Go get some Tigers merch. Shop.woodwardsports.com. It's a great way to show your support. And you know, as they win more and more and more and more, we're going to be sold out, man. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get not only your Tigers merch, all your Detroit sports merch on the website right now. Shop.woodwardsports.com. That's shop.woodwardsports.com. Get your merch now.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Can't you tell how much I love Lady Jane's? I was just here yesterday. My girl Bethany, shout out, 15 in Woodward. Took real good care of me. Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
All right, look, I don't want to make this a thing, but something real quick that I noticed. Welcome into the second hour of the show. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards here. You know, brothers, we get our haircut barbershop. My whole life.
That's it.
Barbershop. You go to the barbershop. Usually, y'all men, I got a little older, get some women here or there. But, you know, you go there, you get the gossip, you get what's going on. But the gossip is sports.
Buy something.
Exactly. You buy some DVDs, right. The whole 9 yards. But I missed out on the experience of, let's say, my wife friends, if you guys have been going to Lady Jane's or places like Lady Jane's for a very long time, and you get the full service. You
Everything.
get the massage,
The
you get a
wash.
shampoo, you get conversation. She tells you what your wife won't tell you. You know, there's little things like
Absolutely.
that. It's smooth.
So I
missed
too
out, man.
went to the barbershop my whole life.
Yeah.
In 2020, when they closed the barbershops down,
Okay.
you had to make, like, after they reopened, you had to make an appointment with the barber. And I wasn't making an appointment with the barber.
I got you.
I go to the barber when I can.
Really?
I pop in when I can. I'm not
dangerous.
making an appointment at the barber shop. I want to go in. I want to wait for 20 minutes. I want to talk to the guys in the shop. I want to get in the chair. I want to get my cut, and I want to go.
Makes sense.
Had to make an appointment. So I started coming to Lady Jane's on Thursdays during football season to do making the cut for Fox 2.
Oh, I remember that.
So I'd get my hair cut every Thursday when I was
remember
here.
you were doing
and
that.
then ultimately I just had a standing appointment, and then I just, once I got my hair cut here, and once you treat it, once you kind of cross over into this realm,
It's over.
You never go back.
No.
Like, I need a wash, I need a scalp massage.
You can come in, you can get a lot.
Yeah,
A lot
I mean,
can happen
you can,
here.
you know, you maybe get your ear waxed, your eyebrows, whatever. You know,
So you get a facial?
Yes.
Boy.
I get the hot towels. You know, I mean, once you cross over, once you go once, chances are you're coming back again.
Yeah.
It's just that mental, for the guy, the mental, like, okay, I'm going to go to, you know, I don't even think it's called a salon. It's haircuts for men. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, too, I think the testosterone gets to be too much. Sometimes you just want to relax in a, chill, good vibe space. Vibes being the key word.
No doubt. Guys, OTAs underway. Lions part of those as well. Organized
Lions
team activities. No hitting can take place, but there's 7-on-7, 7-on-9, or 9-on-7, I should say, 11-on-11. Just kind of walk through stuff. Not walk through, but not live.
Right. Sweet.
I think there's a big difference there. Obviously, the main conversation piece around the league for these OTAs is Aaron Rodgers. He did not show up for the Steelers. Terry Bradshaw ripped Aaron Rodgers and also ripped the Steelers for continuing to kind of flirt with Rodgers. Here's the quote. That, to me, is just a joke. What are you going to do? Bring him in for 1 year? Are you kidding? Terry Bradshaw on Steelers' pursuit of Aaron Rodgers. And, yes, they are going to bring him in for 1 year. I think these are all one-year deals. And maybe if you are a player – so I don't know if I have the right opinion on this, but it's my opinion. You ever so, like, headstrong in something you're willing to make a bad decision just to prove a point?
I hear you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like as a Pittsburgh – yes.
Yeah.
As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I would want to double down on the against Aaron Rodgers. But then you look at your football team and you think of those Sundays. You think of the 4:05 start, Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Boy.
You want to go to war with Mason Rudolph?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go to war with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback?
Right.
And the answer is B, obviously. Obviously, I would think B, but to get there, it just is a huge struggle. And it's not good for anybody. It's not good for Rodgers, it's not good for the Steelers, it's not good for the league. And I'm kind of over the Aaron Rodgers situation, even though we're talking about it now first when it comes to NFL talk. But I'm kind of over him.
This is what I think about the Terry Bradshaw situation. I think there's two elements to this. There's one element where Terry Bradshaw is mad at the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. He's mad that the organization that he represents, that he has 2 back-to-back title wins, by the way. They won in 77, 78, 89, 90, or 89, 80. So 2 back-to-back. He is the Steelers. The Steelers have been this great brand since the 70s, and it's now faltering into this weird space. His anger is with the Steelers.
Yeah.
So it's misplaced anger with the Steelers. Like, that's what the energy is getting. So what are you going to do? Bring him in for 1 year? You're going to Aaron Rodgers? He hates where the Steelers are. This once proud organization. Now you're looking year to year just to make the playoffs. Mason Rudolph, who was the quarterback last year? Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields fighting off an aging Russell Wilson. That's what he's pissed at. And also, too, he hates the fact that Aaron Rodgers gets all this credit. It's starting to come out more and more for when he won Super Bowl. He's pissed at that. He thinks Aaron Rodgers is overrated. He said it on a couple of different occasions, little comments about people calling him, Mama, there goes that man. What man? I've heard him say that before. So now he's not only just mad at where the Steelers are, he's also mad that it's Aaron Rodgers is the guy that you're holding up, and you know what he's been. You saw how he did the Green Bay Packers situation at the end, how that kind of fizzled out. You see what happened in New York, whether it was the injury or not, there still were things that happened where he was supposed to be in the space, and he was overseas instead, and he didn't build the chemistry. And now here the Steelers are again with no quarterback, and this is the guy they're trying to risk it all and wait for. Aaron Rodgers is a much better quarterback than everybody on their roster. He is a much better quarterback and will put you in a much better position. The problem is, though, you'll be right back in this very next spot next year, and you still won't know what you're going to do in the quarterback position as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you finance the mortgage to this guy yet again, now he's not going to sign until when? When is he going to get in camp? When can you even get into a playbook?
I did hear an interview with him about a month ago. I don't remember what platform it was on. I think it might have been McAfee because that's where I see him most. Just the clips anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying in whether or not he was going to decide to play, and the Steelers were obviously an option, was that he has made teams aware of his life schedule. He said, I've got things going on in my life. I've got commitments that I have already made that would prevent me from doing a couple of things. Now, I anticipate a couple of things means OTAs because he's not there and nobody seems to be having a hissy fit about it other than the fans.
Pittsburgh radio probably is having a field day.
Oh, God, it's a gift.
Right,
it's a gift in May.
It's a gift. We've gotten gifts before, but I'll tell you, man, if I'm him, I would have wanted to have been there already. But obviously he's not. I don't know if it's going to work. And you know me, I was the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan and apologist on anywhere, on any show. But I'm not fatigued of him. I've just kind of forgotten about him, to be honest with you. He's nowhere. He's like an invisible man. And, when he goes on to all these talk shows and all, and he talks about all these things, all these controversies, and all these what's the word I'm looking for always? My daughter is a
conspiracy
theorist. He is like the king of conspiracy theories. It's fun. It's fun to listen to. I have forgotten that he still even plays football. And the Jets moved on from him. You heard that story, how it ended. Aaron Glenn walked in and said, well, we're not using you, basically, and he walked out.
Yep.
Find a new team. He had him go all the way to New York to tell him, take a walk. And he's been nowhere. You don't hear from Mike Tomlin. You don't hear from anyone in Pittsburgh's hierarchy. I really don't know if he's going to sign there. Yesterday, Braylon brought up that, he's talked to Green Bay about when he goes back to retire, he'll sign a one-day contract with them and retire. He still has all the respect and honor for that team. He might just call it quits, guys. He might. And the Steelers are going to be up the creek without a paddle.
I'm serious about this overrated thing as it relates to Aaron Rodgers. I think it's time to get to a point where we have a conversation. For years, Stephen A. Smith and others on TV labeled him, Mama, there goes that bad man. And we bought into this in the QBR. QBR this.
I hate this stat.
QBR that. Oh, he has the best QBR of all time. Well, when you're not trying to throw the ball because you don't want to get a pick, you're going to have a pretty good high QBR. And you play in the division against the freaking Lions. But going back to that, is he a top 10 quarterback for you, Ryan? Of all time? Is he a top 10?
I'd say no.
I agree. Matt, is he a top 10 quarterback?
10?
Top 10 quarterback.
Don't make me go over the list.
No.
It's hard to go over the list, but yes, he is.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just do. Okay,
and it's gonna be hard for me to throw anyone out that you throw to me.
Here you go. Just all you have to simply say is he better or not.
Go ahead.
Brett Favre.
Yes, I think he's better.
Okay, we disagree, but that's fine. Brett Favre. So one. Joe Montana.
No.
Tom Brady.
No.
Dan Marino.
No.
Drew Brees.
Yes.
Okay. John Albert Elway Jr.
No.
There we go. Steve Young.
No.
Thank you. Brett Favre. That's a little old, but I know you would. Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Terry Bradshaw. He's got 4 Super Bowls.
I know. No.
Okay. Troy Aikman.
No.
You haven't said Peyton Manning yet.
Peyton
No.
Manning.
I was waiting for the sheriff.
Jim Kelly.
Yes.
Okay. Kurt Warner. He's not, but that's just my opinion.
No.
Eli Manning.
Yes.
What about the old guys like Johnny Unitas and Frank
So I
Tarkenton?
I won't even go to them.
I
I
was-
guess maybe.
Yeah, right.
I guess maybe he's not top 10.
Right.
I guess
Right.
maybe he's
there
not.
you go.
It's not.
You win.
Good job, Braylon. Way to
did-
walk
you
that
did, Bray.
down.
You win.
Well done, Braylon.
That's playing with receipts.
Yes.
Right?
That was
Yeah.
well
That's
done,
playing
Braylon.
with receipts.
Way to walk
Yeah.
that down.
That's well done.
I got nothing.
Nah, and it wasn't even
down.
trying to do math like that. It's
No,
just
it's
Better than
okay.
Lamar Jackson.
It's just more
Yes.
asking the question because for so long we were giving him this slot. It's like
Yeah.
the fourth best of all time.
Right.
Without really dialing into the question. Warren Moon.
No.
Stat wise, he's better than Warren Moon. Warren's my guy. You guys know that. But it's just we give him all this credit, and then you start to look at it.
Well said.
He was so good from 2000 and really 8. Because 2007 was his first year. It was okay. 2008. So 2009 to 2017, 18,
He was
19.
tops.
So 10 years, he was 100%. But in that time, he got to the Super Bowl one time. He had home field advantage 5 times. Did nothing with it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Did nothing with it.
Yeah, I know.
Like all those times he got to play. And then the conversation, well, if you give him what Tom Brady had on defense, did you look at what he had on offense? In all those years, he stayed with 3 wide receivers that was going to the Pro Bowl. Tight end is the only position he didn't have. Tight end was the only position. And he had great defenders. Last time I heard, I got hit by Clay Matthews. Side hurt for a whole rest of the season. I think he's overrated in that regard. Not overrated as a player because he was a damn great player.
Good call, man.
But you got to get, when you talk about the top 10 of all time that have ever done it,
Good job.
now you enter the postseason. Now you enter those moments. What's Aaron Rodgers' moment?
Right.
Like you talk about
His
Mickey,
moments are against us.
What's Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers'
the Hail
moment?
Mary against
Yeah.
us.
His
And-
moments
and
are
those Hail
against
Marys,
us.
what did they count for in the playoffs? Where
Brett Favre's
his
moments are against us.
like his moments are the Steelers game. He was lights out, like one of the best throws ever over the middle. Outside of that,
You know what sent me over the edge on
I know he's better than
Aaron
Mason
Rodgers
Rudolph,
too. You know,
Damn good.
sometimes it's like, you know, when so many things happen, like take any guy or any person, for instance, and you're like, watch out for that. That's a bad dude. Like, you know, oh no, he's fine. Well, he's done this, and this. No, it's fine. And then then there's like something else that you see, and then the people are like, it took that for you to understand.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Danica Patrick came out in the last week and talked about how Aaron Rodgers was emotionally abusive, and it was the worst experience in her life.
Wow.
And that sent me over the edge on Aaron Rodgers.
lover boy,
Right? It's
Great
like
setup.
certified
it's
lover
like
boy.
all this, people would look at me. You got over on Aaron Rodgers for that. You know what I mean? It's like,
How dare you?
know what I mean? It's like, not to get political, but like Trump, okay? Trump's got this, and this. I don't like the fact that he's talking about a third term. I don't like it. You're like, it took that.
Yeah, right?
You know, it takes that, you know?
It's something about that seat. Because that seat, it uses Donald Trump for a lot of examples. No, because Anson does the same thing.
It's the most famous human ever.
It's like pop culture, like real life kind of situation. It's like Jake Tapper's book. It took Jake's book for you to understand. You know what I mean?
I got you.
You get it. It took Danica Patrick for you to understand that Aaron Rodgers is a douchebag.
Not the ayahuasca.
Oh my God.
He's one of those guys. You notice how when people retire, then people get on these podcasts, they're like teammates and like years kind of removed. You start to see people. Here's a story. Then that story leads to somebody else feeling comfortable to tell a story. Yeah. Then now somebody else feels comfortable to tell you an Aaron Rodgers story. Now somebody closer that you really like.
Kind of breaking the seal.
I can't wait for that seal to get broken in the next year or so, and in the next 2 to 3 years, the stories have got to be amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. They have to be great.
Rando Smalls, $5. R.I.P. Rick Derringer, rock and roll hoochie coo.
Yeah.
Brian,
Hulk Hogan.
absolutely.
Hulk
Rock
Hogan.
and roll.
Hoochie
Yeah,
coo.
Hulk Hogan's
Yeah,
rocking.
I am a
Yeah,
real.
you love
He did
him.
that song. Yeah.
Curb gave Aaron Rodgers his moment. How about that?
That's fair.
That is great.
That's fair.
You know, one of the groundskeepers is being taken off like on a stretcher. I don't know what happened.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. At first base for
God,
some
replay.
reason. I have no idea
Incredible.
what happened to the poor
Oh my
bastard.
gosh, we hope everything's okay. All right.
Aaron
Moving
Rodgers
away.
overrated. There we
Aaron
go.
Rodgers overrated.
true.
I wanted to talk a little Lions next. OTAs.
I got some other good stuff for you.
Okay, and I want to talk a little NBA today. Go ahead,
good.
Maz. What do you got?
Well, I was going to bring up the Stephon Diggs. You want me to
Great.
wait?
Yeah, well, I want to get a break in here.
Okay.
Let me get one break in here. We'll come back and talk about Stephon Diggs, Lions, NFL, and NBA.
Sounds good.
How about that? And we'll talk to your boy Teebs.
That's right. Josh Teeb's coming up in a few minutes. Lions stuff. I mean, Tigers gear.
What'd I do? Oh, I'm sorry, Bray.
You good.
That's my bad, dude.
Trust me, man. It's no bads here, man. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. They got a ton of locations. They got gyms ready for you. They're ready for you to come in and get active, get with it. Come on, man. The summer's here. I know it's a little gloomy outside, but don't worry about that. The weather will change. Planet Fitness, look, they have fitness that fits into your budget. They got the price points you need so that you can get in shape, feel great. You look good, you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. That's what Deion said. Look, come on down to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is and always will be essential.
Is essential too if you want good health and happiness and be able to walk around without any pains. That's right. Do not miss our expert sports injury insight with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. You can check him out in Livonia. He's with us every Tuesday and Thursday on Woodward Sports. He will here keep you in the game, feeling your best and looking at your best as well. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Tell them the guys at Woodward sent you.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Baligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
The hours of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 13th from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Nemo's in Corktown for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw and Ven Johnson.
Well, you know, everybody, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are the numero uno, the #1 sports digital media platform around this entire big blue globe. And we have 6 ways for you to catch our 7 days a week programming. You can watch us on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. We love you guys, and come be a part of our family.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's $5,000 that you get to keep. Call them today, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
So I just got back from New York a couple of days ago, and we did all the touristy stuff. I mean, we can go to New York 100 times and not do the stuff that we did last time. I mean, top of the Empire State Building, NBC studio tour, Statue of Liberty, all that good stuff. It was unbelievable. The energy in that city is unmatched by anyone. I love it. Statue of Liberty tour.
I agree.
It was a 50-degree cold day. A little bit of mist in the air. And
did you have a guide?
Not on the island. No, once we got to the island,
take the ferry over, and they let you do your thing.
Yeah. But at the line for the ferry, and now this is a pretty big line for the ferry. So get a 2-shot real quick, the big shot. So there's a room. We're all standing outside, and then you go into like a room. You cross in one door. You're in a room about this big, from me to Braylon, and actually from me to the wall over there. It's a small room, and then on the other side of the door is like a TSA-style security checkpoint where you go through. Well, I had to let one fly.
Oh no!
And I didn't want to do it outside.
Gaseous clay.
I didn't want to do it outside at all because the line wasn't moving. I figured once we got in these doors that I would just continue to pass through. Continue to pass through. And I didn't even think it was like that bad. Guys.
Uh-oh. The chopped cheese.
We walked in, I let it fly, and we were stuck. We stayed in that room. The amount of people that had their hands up to their nose, it was one of the worst things you have ever smelled in your life. People were like, who died?
That New York pizza.
People thought it was an anthrax attack or some sort of gas attack at the Statue of Liberty.
Did Luke say
like,
I can picture Luke.
Everybody was like this. You had all these people like this. And I was stone-faced. I was going like this, like this. God. Oh, my God, who died in here? Like, are we under attack? This, that, the other thing. Had no idea. And about 2 hours later, I admitted it. And
wife, you didn't know?
Nobody knew. And my wife hit me so hard. We were with the Topolinskis, my buddy Jerry. Jerry was so appalled that I did that. He was about to fight me.
Who are you having dinner with? I saw on the street.
Jerry.
Jerry lives there?
No, we went. They went with us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's that frat boy stuff.
Yeah,
right. That's
legit. It was horrible.
Oh
man.
my God,
it was horrible.
Did you get a chance to see the chains at the basin of the statue?
Yeah, it was great. We did. And then they have the original torch in the museum.
Oh, that's
there.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Pretty awesome.
You used to be able to go in there.
A couple years ago, yeah.
You used to be able to go in the torch.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you can go in the crown.
You can go in the crown, but the torch used to be open.
Wow.
Back in the old days.
Wow.
Now, you didn't go on the circle line, huh?
No.
I told you to go on the circle line.
I know. We had just, it was just
ran
too
out
much.
Of time.
Yeah.
You got to go again.
I
That's
know.
all.
Oh, God, we're going again. We're going in the fall. We'll do something. We'll go when Braylon plays, gets honored by the Jets or
There
something
you go.
like that.
I'm going. You let me know. You know, I go see the Jets a couple times a year. Now with AG in the fold,
Right.
it'd be cool.
So, anyway, Maz, you said you had a couple of things you wanted to get to.
I did. I wanted to talk about Stephon Diggs. Now, Stephon Diggs has been kind of passed around as a great receiver as he is. Obviously, the Minneapolis Miracle, and then he went on from there. He keeps getting traded. So finally, he lands in New England. And Mike Vrabel's the new head coach there. So let's roll the tape.
Yeah, you can
Pete.
talk over it.
We'll talk over this. This is his yacht. Who's he dating? Is he dating Cardi B?
Cardi B.
All right. Look at Stephon Diggs just yesterday, partying, having a great time. Nothing wrong with that. He's having a time of his life. Keep going around.
Oh, yeah.
There
you go.
We're going to hear from Mike Vrabel pretty soon, and Pete will bring up
And
the
here
volume.
it comes. You ready? Yeah.
Let's go. Here's Mike Vrabel. Hey, what happened to your guy Stephon Diggs, Mike? Here he is.
We want to make great decisions on and off the field. We're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call periods, that we're making great decisions. So the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stephon will remain between him.
He went on to say, when he is here, I will coach him up. We will coach him when he's here. He's not here now. Bray, Mike Vrabel.
Let me ask you this question. Is he supposed to be there? Like, was that Mike Vrabel taking a shot? What was the question asked to Mike Vrabel about Stephon Diggs?
Did you see what Stephon Diggs has been doing? Yeah, we've been following it.
Okay.
We've been seeing what he's doing. You know, he's not there. It's voluntary.
Right.
It's voluntary.
Got you.
First year with the team, though.
Yeah, this is true. As it relates to what he's doing, look, man, like they live in that world. Cardi B and them and all that comes kind of with their world. So I don't think there's anything wrong in that video. But if you're talking about in terms of getting with the new team, the New England Patriots, trying to be there, figure this thing out, yeah, you should be there. You have a young quarterback, Drake May, trying to figure some things out. But I don't know what the conversation was when they signed Stephon Diggs. I don't know what the conversation was with Drake May and Stephon Diggs in terms of what page are they on, what did they do before this OTAs, have they been linking up, have they been running routes. He's also an injured player, so he's not going to be doing OTAs like everybody else. So if I was Stephon Diggs at this stage in my career, I would be there.
Right.
That's just my thoughts on that. But like I said, I don't know what the arrangement was with Mike Vrabel. I don't know if it was a conversation that he had and he said, hey, look, let you do your thing. Because I know when you're rehabbing, you're not doing exactly what they're doing. You can rehab from anywhere. You can get your steps in anywhere. You can get your treatment in anywhere. You can get the desired workouts with the doctors. You can do that anywhere. Florida's just as good a place as any. But you got a young quarterback. You want to do those things. There's a reason why Stephon Diggs, they let him go in Minnesota. Not only because of the skill, there's a reason why it didn't work in Buffalo. There's a reason why insert the injury didn't work in Houston. So you know what you got as Mike Vrabel.
He's talented, but
I think Mike Vrabel had a conversation with him and say, look, you come in when you're ready. We'll give you this weekend off. It is Memorial Day weekend, realistically, if we're having a conversation.
And you do things for veterans that you wouldn't do for the other guys, right? That's every NFL team does that. I'm just not sure Stephon Diggs is that good anymore where you get that kind of treatment. Yeah. That's I don't know, but he's earned the right.
But when you're desperate, you're the
Pittsburgh
you
Steelers.
say this.
It's no different from the Pittsburgh Steelers being desperate with Aaron Rodgers to the New England Patriots being desperate for a wide receiver. I mean, they really wanted who's the second wide receiver
Travis
from
Hunter?
Cincinnati? T. Higgins.
Oh, T. Higgins.
They
You
really
called
were
that, too.
expecting to sign T. Higgins, and then they had to go to Plan B.
Yeah, now you're looking at a situation where you got a guy that is coming off an ACL who is 32 years old, I want to say, in Stephon Diggs, and now he's also not there when you're trying to build so many young quarterbacks. So when you get behind the A-ball, man, when you're at the mercy of players, yeah, and I'm a player, I get it, so I'm not hating on the players. I'm always for the player, just speaking on what I see. When you put yourself at the mercy of older players that don't necessarily have the desire for it anymore, and like, I'll be there when I get there.
Right. I don't know. That's what you do.
We'll see.
Guys, anything jump off the page at you? Are you looking out for anything with the Lions? I mean, I think the first thing would be they do have 2 new coordinators and new ways to do some stuff. I heard the offensive coordinator, Johnny Morton, say that he's not going to change much. And why would he change much? He's not going to do that. But I am curious to see, the chemistry between he and Jared Goff. And he's going to call the plays. And if there's one thing, I think Ben Johnson gets a lot of love for the X's and O's of it, obviously. But Goff and Johnson were so in sync with the plays, like what was being called, when they were being called. They were just on the same page. That takes time with a new coordinator, I would think.
Yeah, I think, too, we have to start giving Jared Goff more credit. I think we look at it so much of what Ben Johnson did. Ben Johnson. What will Johnny Morton do? Johnny Morton. No, let's not forget about a guy that's going in year 9. I think this is 9 or 10 for Goff.
I'm not sure. I think it's 9.
Chat, let me know what it is. 9 or 10 for Goff. This guy's going to. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to the top of the mountain. He's been at the bottom. And then somewhere along the way, he worked with Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell to find himself again and find his game and actually even find a better version of his game. He's entering his prime. This is a guy that you got to trust, too. You got to trust the conversations that Johnny Morton and Jared Goff are going to have. What did Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and Sheila Hamp tell us when they were looking for the replacement right after the season? We are bringing Jared Goff into the room.
Right.
This is a guy that Jared Goff also had a hand in picking because there was familiarity. So just looking at it that way from the offensive side, I think they'll be fine. I think much won't change because Jared Goff is a guy that knows his offense. This offense, he's run for the last 2 years stat. He knows this like the back of his hand. He has the same offensive line. He has the same integrity, the same wide receivers. He's got the same running backs. He knows this offense. So I think Johnny Moore will keep him in those spaces. On the defensive side,
Kelvin Shepard.
I think he's going to be better than AG. Mm-hmm. At least where AG was with the Lions, I think Kelvin Shepard has the potential. Let me not say that. He has the potential to be better because he already had that intensity. He already had that energy as a former player and then learning as on the coaching staff. We saw him in Hard Knocks. We know the story about not cutting his hair. But I watched him. Everywhere AG was, he was. Everywhere AG was having conversations. Then you start to notice Kelvin Shepard and his linebackers. I remember that energy. It's like watching AG talk to Kirby Joseph. It's like watching AG talk to insert player here. Kelvin has a bit of that. But the mentees, they tend to be in a spot where they can be better and see it in different ways. So I'm excited. I think he has the potential based on what he's seen, what he's done, and still having core guys. You got Talik Williams. That's going to be a huge new asset for him, new addition for that defensive line. I think Kelvin Shepard will be a better version of AG. Not year one. He's going to build into it, but eventually. So I'm excited for the optimism. But the Jared Goff thing, give him more credit. You'll give Johnny Morton more credit.
Well, talking about the linebackers, they let Abraham Beauplan go. They brought in Zach Cunningham, veteran, actually was with Philly back in 2020, led the NFL in tackles that year. He was with Houston and Denver last year. He comes in as a veteran present linebacker. And then you got the Alex Anzalone story. So we're going to see if Alex is going to come here and work out. Friday is basically a practice day. We're going to find out more. The media get to watch the Friday practice. So we'll see more. We'll hear more. And we'll see if Alex does show up. But I think he's an important cog here. I hate like hell to see this become a story. I don't want this Alex Anzalone thing to become a story. Pay the man. You don't have to overpay him, but you could pay him. And let's get this train moving.
What do you think the reason is for all this? I mean, the Lions have been more than fair with their players. They have been first with their players. They have anybody that's up for a contract. I mean, it's almost like you sign them before even a iota of a conversation is even to be had. What do you think this is all about when it comes to Anzalone?
Maybe they want to just be younger. Maybe they want to be younger. So he'll be there, and I think they will take care of him. He's a Dan Campbell guy, and he's a true blue lion, right? You saw what happened when he went out last year with that forearm injury. They kind of fell down. He came back for the playoff. He got ready. This guy is a warrior, and I want him in my defense.
Let's not talk about him. He's a guy that – do we have somebody on the line?
Yeah, we'll get him after the break.
Coming up next.
Just go ahead.
But no, go ahead.
I was going to say it's one of those situations where when he came here from the New Orleans Saints, he was not at all what we needed in terms of this point now. But at that point, he worked hard. We saw him. He changed our minds. He started learning the defense. Him and Aaron Glenn started working well together. Year by year, he got better. The numbers got better. And now he's a player that we respect. He's a player that we appreciate. He's a player that we love. But the Lions are looking at, like Matt said, he is an older player that is playing outside himself. You got to go younger if you want to. I had Pete Carroll when I was with the Seattle Seahawks. It was really the first time, that I understood the game from an older standpoint. They love younger players.
Yep.
I was looking at Pete. He was looking at me as a dinosaur. Maz, I legitimately was 2012, give or take. I was 30. Like, I'm 30. I'm 31. Looked at me like a dinosaur. Sidney Rice, who was 3 years younger than me, he looked at him like an injured dinosaur. And this is somebody that was 27.
Crazy, man.
So I kind of understand from that standpoint. You look at it, okay, look, it's time to move on. We can do this a little. You don't want to pay a guy for what he's done. There's other ways you can do that. Insert Alex Anzalone coming back in the front office or coming back to be a part of the Lions when it's all said and done. I believe that. Chris Spillman. Alex Anzalone.
He's part of the franchise turnaround, that's for sure. Guys, coming up next, we're going to talk to Tiger superfan Josh Teebs, Maz's boy. That's right. We'll talk to Teebs about everything going on with the Detroit Tigers, talk about what's going on with him and all that good stuff. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Need a new car? Need a pre-owned car? Les Stanford is your one-stop shop for all of it. Service department, fantastic. QR code on the screen right now. Press and hold that if you'd like to search their massive inventory. What about a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive, only $259 per month? A 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation, $169 per month. How about a 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $699 per month? Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Baligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 13th from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Nemo's in Corktown for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson.
What are you guys doing out there? What is happening? The Tigers were down 3-0. Once again, they come back. They're still in the lead. The game is not over. But if you don't scan that QR code above my head and use that code word over there, Woodward 1000, then you really can't be betting the Tigers in game when they're down 3-0 and you're losing money. So scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward 1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account when you do and make your first deposit and your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000 only by scanning that QR code above my head and using that code word Woodward 1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Gentlemen.
All right, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Amani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We go to the phone lines now. We bring in a Tigers super fan, the one, the only, Josh Teebs. Teebs, how are you, my friend?
Teebs.
Why that?
Yes.
What's up, Teebs?
Oh, what's up, Teebs?
What's up, boys?
Hey,
Teebs,
man.
you tell me, man.
Hey, we're 1 out away from winning this game, baby.
I see that. We got Tommy Boy on the mound. Let's go.
Tommy Canely is the savior. Here we go. We have got to win, guys.
Hey, Josh, you know, we were talking earlier today.
Hey, one second. Hey, now I'm going to need y'all to just get off your seat. Stand to your feet. I need y'all to say it with me, like.
Let's go.
You know, the Tigers won again.
Tigers won again.
Respect.
You know, the Tigers won again. That's right. Like that. That's all we do is we just win. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
37-20, Ryan. 37-20.
It's incredible what they've done. Just, Josh, talk to me. The last 100 games, the Tigers PR put this out today. Last 100 games, Detroit is 67-33, now 68-33. Last 101 games. But just put into words what kind of run you believe this organization has been on over the last really full calendar year almost.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were struggling, early on in the A.J. Hinch regime record-wise, but basically I think we put the right people in place, coaching and staff-wise, and, we just really built the team to be really deep at this point. But, I mean, we got this culture going on in the clubhouse where everyone's just looking out for each other. It's like a real beautiful thing. Like, the Tigers individually are, like, following, like, life's golden rule. Like, they're looking out for the player next to them. And it's like, I don't know what kind of voodoo AJ worked to get this to happen, but those boys believe, and I don't think we're going to stop this streak here.
Hey, Josh, I'm going to show you a video from Instagram here. Josh is big on Instagram, and he's big for the Tigers.
Huge.
Pete, you can play this thing now for us, Pete, of Josh celebrating. Let's take the audio down, Pete.
I'm trying, bro. Hang on.
There he is, guys. I know the people listening cannot see it, but the people watching us can see him. This is Josh Teebs. He's got a sign for almost every single player, but especially Spencer Torkelson. And last year, Josh, you were invited on the field to celebrate with the Tigers. You got in their team picture. You got in the clubhouse. How the hell did you pull all of this off, man?
I was like going to games when we were bad. And okay, I'll tell you, but it's tough to Cliff Notes it. But 4 years ago, 2021, we're playing the Yankees and Miggy's batting, and people are booing him because if you remember, he struggled at the end of his career a little bit, especially early in that season. So people are booing him, and I'm like, behind the dugout, probably like 20 feet from the on-deck circle, and he's just getting booed relentlessly. He strikes out the first time. Second time he comes up, same thing. People are booing louder and louder. Third time he comes up, he's in the on-deck circle. People are booing. I'm cheering. I'm clapping. I'm screaming positive stuff. You got this. The fans turn on me. they start calling me a bozo. He can't hear you, you clown. And this is when it happened. He turned around, and he looked at me and pointed at me with both hands, crossed his eyes, and for 7 seconds straight, he goes, yeah, I can hear you. And you could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop after that for 5 seconds. It was absolute silence. You could hear like a collective gasp amongst all the fans sitting near me, and they say, what just happened? Do you know him? I go, no, but they hear everything we say, so how are we helping if we're booing the players? So basically, at that moment, I realized the magic, for lack of a better word. I don't know what to call it, but I realized what we can do as fans, and that is support. So next thing I knew, he sent me over batting gloves one day. I never asked for anything, but the usher bothered me, and then he gave me a bat and another bat, and I'd always sit on top of the dugout, and I just like talk to the players like, I need to talk to you guys. I'm calling you guys for a reason. I need a message to get out about Scooble, okay? Because that is my boy, and I will tell you very quick, a couple quick things very quick, okay? Scooble was hurt, and he was 2021, 2022. I was going to all those games because this is after I started getting it in with Miggy and all that. So I'd like talk with all the players in the dugout. Like I'd like joke around with them and say positive stuff and goofy stuff. I started making stupid signs and stuff like Zach McKinstry is master of the universe. Stupid signs like that. They used to have one like that for John Barry with the going to work Pistons.
That's
but
right.
Anyways, Scooble, after a game, it was May 19th, 2021. I was wearing a hobby jersey. Scooble was injured, so I'd like talk with him, and I told him, I said, sir, this offer you're putting in this rehab, when you come back, you are going to be the best pitcher in the history of humanity, and you know this. And here we are, and I did not cause that, obviously, but my point of this is I knew him somewhat. We would talk and interact a lot. So I'm walking to my buddy, me and two buddies parked like at the lot next to Creektown. Our Jeep actually got broken into and robbed immediately after this, but I had to walk through the casino to get to our Jeep. I'm walking out the casino. Scooble walks in with like 4 of his friends, just random people. And I'm like, and I spot him, and he spots me. He walks up to me. I walk up to him. I don't know what to say, you know. So he says, I know who you are. And I didn't know what to say to him. And then he hugs me. He bro-hugged me for 3.5 seconds straight. And then we did not say another word. We just kept walking. And then I said to my buddy, I was like, dude, did I like force that hug on him? Was that like awkward? They're like, no, he knew what he was doing. He leaned into that. It was at least 51-49 him. Next thing I knew, it was 368 days ago. Last May. This is how it started last year now. I'm still going to the games. I'm getting all pumped up. The team's struggling. I'm about 60 feet from Scooble in the dugout. I didn't know he was there. I'm just doing my thing front row there, and a pumpkin seed lands in front of me, and I like look around like, what is this? I picked it up, and I'm like, what is this? And I look over out the side of my eye, or I look over there, and Scooble's looking at me out the side of his eye. And he starts laughing hysterically, an evil laugh that only he could do. And what he was trying to say was this. If the fans support, he was saying to me, keep coming to the games and we'll see what happens in October. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. We're going to do something. Scooble is the most obsessed with winning person ever. He's like Jordan. He's like Kobe. So, point of what I'm trying to tell you is, regarding him, everyone's wondering, why don't we pay the man? Give him a blank check. Money, 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 money. The money is not going to matter. He is going to go where he can win. Can he win here long term? I don't know. Can he win in LA easier long term? I don't know. But we got a year and a half here to convince him that he can. And there's one quick more thing about this Scooble situation is I know how we can keep him.
When?
Crap, I wrote it down. Sorry, I'm getting
Teams.
But no, seriously, did you see him crying post game the other day?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, talking about what the fans mean to him.
Yes.
All right. He, I know from talking with him and listening to him, he's really into the fan support and whatnot. So, okay, basically, if we can get him to fall in love with Detroit, he won't leave. And he is, right now, falling in love with Detroit. He is. You can tell if you read between the lines of what he posts on Instagram and stuff. Basically, I am obnoxious. I try not to be. I am annoying to people. I try not to be. I'm not for everybody. Some people love me. I get a lot of positive support from fans at the game saying, this is the funnest time ever. Thank you for doing this and all this. But then some fans hate it. My point is this. If we all can make Comerica lit again.
Ooh.
Remember 06?
Of course.
Remember 06, 11, 12, 13, 14? You remember what it felt like at those games?
Absolutely.
That's what we need to do. So we need fans to start coming to weekday games. We need to start. We do a good job as fans, but we need to start supporting him more. We need to quit saying, pay the man, pay the man, pay the man. We need to not cry when he leaves, because my prediction is he will leave unless we do something about it. So I don't know who's with me, and I don't know who's
knock if you're with me, right? Isn't that what Gruden says? Knock if you're with me.
That's right.
Wouldn't doing something about it being pay him, though? Wouldn't that be doing something about it, Teams?
That would, but he's going to get the same money anywhere. Everywhere is going to pay him equally. He can get paid whatever he wants.
This
is
true,
I'm trusting that Illich will match any offer.
It's true, but everybody didn't draft him. Everybody didn't give him that shot coming out of college that he came out of when nobody thought that he would be this. Not everybody gave him that chance. Detroit Tigers gave him that chance, and now that he's excelling, even beyond to what the Tigers ever thought, he's way beyond what the Tigers thought. The way in which you make that right is you crack that first offer, that first long-term deal. That's all he wants. It doesn't matter what that number is. That's the magic. The team that drafted him, I'm telling you, I've been there. The team that drafted him took a chance on him, and now they double back and say, you know what? Even though we're not, in quotations, known for this, no, we're gonna put some bread up because this is the guy that we see our future going. That's the magic. That's the magic. And if it happens like that, I guarantee he signs to that line and he's here for a very long time.
By the way, Teams, so you'll appreciate this maybe. The grounds crew guy, this is the last thing we can talk about that we're up against it. Grounds crew guy goes down, blows out a knee during the grounds crew. There's a camera shot. It's all over the place. Camera shot. The grounds crew guy flips off the camera because he doesn't want the camera in his face. It's a bad look. They're like, oh, you can't do that.
Oh, my.
Did somebody blow their leg out at another Lions game? At a Lions game this year?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Teams, man.
Hey, Braylon.
Yeah.
I went to school the same time you did, man. I'll never forget that MSU game, man. I was there. Hey, my point is this. You know about haters, right?
Oh, 100%.
I feel bad for that Usher. Some fans probably yelling all this crap at him, man. Like I said, being negative. Let's not be negative.
That's true.
And you're right. The magic is in ponying up the money, but I'm saying we are going to do that, and I think that he very well will stay. He is a loyal guy. But from his perspective, you got to put yourself in his shoes. Okay. He has no reason to sign right now. Besides the security of blowing his arm out. He's betting on himself. He's not going to sign until the contract expires. We should offer him infinity dollars now, and I believe we have. But it's not up to us, and it's not on him. Don't feel mad at him. He's doing what's right for him, man. He's got to look out for him. We have to, as a fan base, rally, make America lit again. I'm serious. Let's go.
We're going to make a T-shirt for you,
Absolutely.
I agree with everything you said, Jack.
Absolutely.
Teams, we're going to make a T-shirt for you. Make America lit again, baby. Hey, follow Teams on Instagram. Follow him. Scooble Knows on Instagram. All one word. Scooble Knows. Check him out. Great videos. We'll see you at the park, my friend.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great comment.
See you, buddy.
Absolutely. All right, fellas. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. We didn't even talk Knicks. I think the Knicks are coming back. I just want to get that on the record. The Knicks are going to win the series. I want to be on record and say the Knicks are coming back from down 3-1. The New York Knicks will be in the Eastern.
Here you go.
Will win the Eastern Conference.
I hope you're right. I don't think you are, but I hope you're right.
Ricky, put the back wall up. That's how we'll end it. There you go, Ryan.
Braylon Edwards. number one Michigan
Shout
football
out to Swanky.
all time.
Shout out to Swanky
career
Wolverine.
receiving touchdown.
Swanky Wolverine pointed that out. This is the same guy that we were talking about when he said the most impactful player.
He heard y'all.
It's the same one.
He heard y'all.
I told you he usually does good lists. I wasn't necessarily a fan of that, but yeah, this isn't like you figure it out or.
Look at what Anthony Carter did though too. In
79.
an era where it was run.
He ain't had to see double coverage though.
No, and no quarterback.
I tell you what, if number 6 doesn't blow out his ACL,
right,
then number 6 is where number 3 is, and number 3 wouldn't have won the Heisman.
There you go. That's a fact.
That is absolutely.
How about this? I'll leave you with the Oilers are 3-1 up on the Stars, and tonight the Panthers could punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Final for a third straight year. They're up 3-1 on the Hurricanes.
Wow.
How about it?
Unbelievable. We'd like to see the manager's former team win the Stanley Cup.
No, I want the Panthers.
All right, guys, breaking us out of here, my friend.
Bet on the T-Wolves. T-Wolves going to pull it together, man. You see what it is, man? 39. By the way, that is Big Ten record, not just Michigan. Hell of a show by you guys, man. Go home and everybody get out of this cold, rainy weather and enjoy it because it will be warm this weekend, man.
Baby.
Ryan and Monty, Tom Mazaway, Ricky Burns, and Peace Buyback. We are Ermanni Networks with Maz, and we will be back tomorrow.